The unfolding chapters of motherhood. A mother is the epitome of selflessness, embodying boundless love and unwavering dedication. She is the silent anchor, holding her family together through the tides of joy and struggle. From sleepless nights to endless sacrifices, her life becomes a testament to the strength of a heart that beats not just for herself, but for her child. A mother's love is unconditional, a guiding light that shapes lives and nurtures futures with grace and resilience. It was a crisp autumn morning when Amelia's world took a monumental turn. The hospital room was bathed in the soft glow of the rising sun, its golden rays weaving through the slats of the blinds like threads of a tapestry. Amelia cradled her newborn daughter, Lily, in her arms. The baby's delicate features, tiny nose, pouty lips, and fingers no thicker than a pencil, etched themselves onto Amelia's heart forever. "Welcome to the world, my darling," Amelia whispered, her voice quivering with a mixture of awe and trepidation. At that moment, Amelia realized her life had irrevocably changed. She had crossed the Rubicon. There was no going back. The carefree days of spontaneity and self-centered decisions had given way to the heavy mantle of responsibility. Motherhood, she thought, was not merely a title but a lifelong commitment. The first weeks at home were a baptism by fire. Gone were the leisurely mornings of sleeping in and sipping coffee while flipping through a book. Instead, Amelia found herself waking at all hours, her ears finely tuned to the faintest whimper from Lily's crib. "Burning the midnight oil again?" her husband, Jack, asked one night as he found her rocking Lily in the nursery. From the moment her baby is born, a mother's nights become a blur of interrupted sleep. As the moon casts its silvery light, she's often up, tending to her baby's cries. She burns the midnight oil, rocking her little one to sleep, humming lullabies even when her own body pleads for rest. Sleep when the baby sleeps, people advise, but it's easier said than done. When the house finally falls silent, she uses those precious moments to fold tiny clothes, prepare bottles, or just catch her breath. She's running on fumes, but still finds the energy to care, knowing her child depends on her. Amelia laughed, though her exhaustion was palpable. "It's more like burning it at both ends," she replied, acknowledging how she felt stretched to her limits. Her days blurred into nights, and yet, amidst the chaos, Amelia found moments of quiet joy. The first time Lily smiled, a gummy, lopsided grin, it felt as though the sun had risen solely for her. Motherhood also brought with it an epiphany. Amelia began to see the world through a different lens. What once seemed trivial, like a sudden downpour or a traffic jam, now barely registered. She found herself sweating the small stuff less and focusing on the bigger picture. Lily's laughter became her North Star, guiding her through the storms of sleepless nights and self-doubt. Her reflection in the mirror often startles her. The woman staring back has dark circles under her eyes, hair tied hastily into a bun, and skin that's lost its glow. She sighs but quickly brushes the thought aside. Her priorities have shifted. Her beauty routine now consists of washing her face in a hurry and throwing on whatever clothes are within reach. Looks aren't everything, she tells herself, though she secretly misses the days of salon visits and leisurely mornings spent perfecting her makeup. But for now, self-care is the last thing on her mind. Her child's needs are front and center. "Life is a series of trade-offs," her mother had once said, and now Amelia understood the sentiment in spades. She traded her designer heels for sensible flats, her impromptu weekend getaways for planned trips to the pediatrician, and her long baths for lightning-quick showers.
Vocabulary time. Monumental, adjective. meaning very big. Example, rebuilding the bridge proved to be a monumental job. Quivering, adjective, meaning trembling or shaking with a slight rapid motion. Example, a man with a quivering voice. Awe, noun, meaning a feeling of great respect sometimes mixed with fear or surprise. Example, as children we were rather in awe of our grandfather. Trepidation, noun, meaning fear or worry about what is going to happen. Example, we view future developments with some trepidation. Irrevocably, adverb, meaning in a way that is impossible to change. Example, closing the factory would irrevocably alter the character of the local community for the worse. The phrase, crossing the Rubicon, is an idiom that means past a point of no return. Example, once he submitted his resignation, he had crossed the Rubicon. Spontaneity, noun, meaning the quality of being natural rather than planned in advance. Example, you should not work out the entire mock interview beforehand or you will lose the element of spontaneity. Mantle, noun, meaning the responsibilities of an important position or job. Example, he has been asked to take on the mantle of managing director in the New York office. Baptism by fire is an idiom. Baptism by fire, meaning a very difficult first experience of something. Example, I was given $1 million project to manage in my first month. It was a real baptism of fire. Burning the midnight oil, meaning staying up late to work or take care of something. Example, I am burning the midnight oil because I have exam tomorrow. Palpable, adjective, meaning so obvious that it can easily be seen. Example, her joy was palpable. An epiphany, noun, meaning a moment of sudden and great revelation or realization. Example, he's standing in the middle of a battlefield and has this moment of epiphany. The phrase sweating the small stuff is an idiom, meaning to worry about things that are not important. Example, if you want to raise a happy child, you need to learn not to sweat the small stuff. Let's proceed with the story.
As Lily grew, so did Amelia's confidence. She discovered reserves of patience she never knew she had, learned to trust her instincts, and developed a sixth sense for what her daughter needed. The bond between them deepened, like a tree's roots anchoring it firmly to the earth. Motherhood is more than just physical labor. It's a mental marathon. A mother's mind is a whirlwind of schedules, to-do lists, and worries. She's the one remembering doctor's appointments, planning meals, and fretting over every sneeze and sniffle. Her thoughts revolve around her child's happiness and well-being, leaving little room for herself. She's like a one-woman orchestra. Her friends joke, marveling at how she juggles it all. But being the family's backbone often feels like walking a tightrope, balancing everyone's needs while her own fade into the background. Yet, the journey was not without its moments of doubt. Am I doing this right? Amelia often wondered, plagued by the invisible weight of societal expectations. But each time Lily reached for her, giggled at her antics, or sought comfort in her arms, Amelia felt reassured that she was enough. A year later, as Amelia prepared for Lily's first birthday, she marveled at how much she had changed. Motherhood had not just reshaped her schedule, but also her identity. She had become more resilient, more empathetic, and infinitely more grateful. The once intimidating task of raising a child now felt like the greatest privilege of her life. From the first cries of the morning to the quiet moments before bedtime, a mother's day revolves around her child. She hangs on their every giggle and rushes to soothe every tear. Her love is unconditional, a force of nature that knows no bounds. Her friends invite her out, but she often declines, choosing instead to stay home with her baby. They grow up so fast, she says, savoring every fleeting moment. Her world has shrunk, yet in her child's eyes, she finds an entire universe. Looking at Lily toddling across the living room, Amelia smiled. This journey is just beginning, she mused, her heart swelling with hope for the future. Motherhood, Amelia realized, was like learning to dance in the rain, not waiting for the storm to pass, but embracing it, challenges and all. For many mothers, career ambitions take a backseat once a baby arrives. The corporate ladder she once climbed with determination now seems a distant memory as she embraces her new role. She's put her professional dreams on hold, wearing the badge of motherhood with pride. Motherhood is a labor of love, a journey where selflessness becomes second nature. For a mother, every day is a marathon, not a sprint, as she pours her heart and soul into nurturing her child. It's a path filled with sleepless nights, countless sacrifices, and unwavering devotion. It's not goodbye, she tells herself, just a detour. Still, there's an ache, a bittersweet longing for the woman she was before. Yet, she makes peace with it, understanding that her presence during her child's formative years is an investment in a future no paycheck could buy. Despite the sacrifices, a mother's journey is filled with immeasurable rewards, first smiles, tiny hugs, and the knowledge that her love shapes a life. Her selflessness is the bedrock upon which her child's future is built. And while the road is challenging, it's also profoundly beautiful.
In spades, meaning, to a great degree. Example, my dog has personality in spades. North Star, meaning, a guiding principle or source of inspiration. Example, that was a bit of our North Star. After so many speed bumps and obstacles, I knew I wanted a moment. Trade-offs, meaning, sacrifices made in exchange for other benefits. Example, she said that she'd had to make a trade-off between her job and her family. Labor of love, meaning, something done out of passion or devotion, not for reward. Example, a piece of hard work that you do because you enjoy it and not because you will receive money or praise for it. Running on fumes, meaning, operating with very little energy. Example, he plays a struggling writer whose self-confidence is running on fumes. Take a back seat, meaning, letting other priorities overshadow something else. Example, we can't help him except by taking a back seat and letting him speak for himself. One-woman orchestra, meaning, managing many responsibilities single-handedly. Example, mother is an one-woman orchestra in everyone's home. Walking a tightrope, meaning, balancing difficult tasks or situations carefully. Example, He is walking a tightrope between the young activists and the more traditional elements within the democracy movement. Hangs on their every word. Meaning, paying close attention to someone's actions or words. Example, the children hung on the teacher's every word.
If you are here means you are liking my videos, please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you for watching.